Hello, hello. Welcome in to our Soul's Journey podcast. It is this beautiful little podcast you're listening to right now. Hi, my name is Lola. It's so nice to meet you. I'm the creator and the host of the podcast over here, and I'm someone who's been in the spiritual space for almost 10 years now, and I've seen many sides of it. I'm a tarot reader, I'm an empath, and I'm someone who loves learning how to live a more soul-led life. This show's purpose is to help you become more comfortable in your spiritual journey because, say it with me, everyone's spiritual journey is unique to them. I'm telling you, it's so true. Promise. So now that you know my name, go ahead and comment yours in the comments. If you're on Spotify, go ahead and like the episode and follow. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, tell me your thoughts and opinions. This community is growing. The podcast is still new. We're still in our first season, but we did just cross the 10 episode mark. So we are growing for sure. We are going to get there. So welcome in, guys. I'm so excited to just talk about my week with you and tell you about the episode today. Let me tell you what happened over the week. I'm a Texan who got snow and I don't like it. I'm all for optimism and positivity. And I am thankful we got snow, actually. I haven't seen snow in a very long time. The last time it snowed in Texas was quite a long time ago. I'm not one for these winter storms in Texas because, if I'm being honest, we're not prepared as a state because of our politicians, and we could be. And every year in the state, I think people die and they don't need to die. And that's because the people who run our state politically don't prioritize the safety of their citizens. And I wouldn't be surprised if more people died during this storm, too. Thankfully, this year I did not lose power. I know quite a few people in the state did, and I'm very blessed to be that way. We didn't lose power once, and I am so grateful for that, truly. What else? I also realized I don't like snow. I've traveled all over the country and I've lived all over the country. And I used to live in a state where it did snow growing up when I was younger. And I do not like it. I used to love it. I used to dream of having snow fall when I moved to Texas when I was much younger. I don't know what I was dreaming of. It's cold, it's icy, because technically it iced over our snow. So we got a mix of ice and snow, so it wasn't just fluffy snow. Regardless, we got a mix of both, and I don't like either of them. I've seen people on my street literally drive by, and as they're driving by, their car has, instead of going straight, their car has like curved and they're going this way. I saw a car become completely horizontal on a road that goes this way and this way. Like, and also it's cold, it's wet, and now it's ugly. 3 days later, after the snow's fallen, you can see all the tire marks. I may not be the most patriotic Texan out there because this is not my favorite state. It's my home state. It's not my favorite one, but I don't think I could be any more Texan when I say I never want to see snow again in this state. This is awful. It's so cold. Why is it so cold? Regardless, I'm actually really happy that we got it. We haven't gotten snow in quite a while, and last time I didn't even go outside. This time I also did not go outside except to shovel said snow from my sidewalk. So it's been a time. So that's what happened over my week. Just to get started. This has not been my favorite time of year. I'm a summer girl for sure. What else happened last week? Oh, I'm posting another video on my YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. It's the same Our Soul's Journey podcast on YouTube. And it's about a career crisis I actually had last week after recording, but prior to the snowstorm. And it's been kind of a wild ride. I'm actually going to complete my 200-hour yoga instructor certificate so I can teach yoga. I think it'd be incredibly helpful for any of my clients that I'm doing for life coaching, and it's something I would just love to do more in my community. I'm so big into spiritual healing, and I've done yoga for a long time, on and off, never really consistently, but enough to where my body definitely does crave it. And yoga is just something I feel such a connection to. It's helped me in my eating disorder journey to become more and become more connected to my physical body, not just my soul, not just my mind, but to recognize and feel my body intentionally. Yoga has been so powerful in that sense, and to be able to teach that to people, I think would be so amazing. And where does this stem from? What does this have to do with today's episode? Intuition. It's a funny little thing. I think part of the reason why a lot of humans choose to not, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, choose to not follow their intuition is because it doesn't always come in the most convenient times. Whether that's when it happens, like, oh, I should really go grab this for work, but I'm already in my car is on, and I'm literally about to change gears. Why would I follow my intuition? That's so inconvenient. I'm already in my car. Or when it comes to lovers, oh, men, women, all humans, I feel like this happens too, where you're getting past that surface level connection with someone and but your gut has told you there's something off about them, I don't like them, but you're past surface level, so you have feelings, you want to see part of it through. But again, it's kind of inconvenient because you're past surface level. The feelings are already up in you, you're already attracted to this person. Something happens, and that for some reason or another, that relationship does not work out. How about your own personal passions? How about you're in high school and you had two sports in front of you, and you were like, I'll just do this one. All my friends are doing it, but it's a week before practice starts, and you have the gut feeling of, oh my God, I do not want to do this. Like this, I just feel like this sport isn't for me. And actually, I feel really attracted to color guard. I want to do color guard. I want to go swing some flags, really competitively on a field and try not to hit any band kids. It may be a bit from personal experience. Not the scenario, but I did do color guard when I was in high school, and it was so amazing, and I loved it so much. Oh my God, I wish I could do it again. That's super inconveniencing, right? And I'm sure this happens to parents. This happens to aunts, to uncles, family members when you're about to go see your family, friends when you're like, actually, I think I should bring her that red top. Like, there's just something in my gut. We've talked about it before. She mentioned it, but she didn't say she wanted me to bring it. And I'm already 10 minutes down the road from my house. I don't want to go back and get it. It's fine. If I don't bring up my gut feelings, maybe she won't mention it. But you're going to go meet your friend, and you know what she's going to mention? That damn red top. It sounds so frustrating, right? Because ugh, it was inconveniencing, and that's why you did not follow your intuition. That's what we're talking about today. How inconveniencing our intuition can be. How our intuition can come in the most inconveniencing times. And you know what? That is totally okay. But it's something to remember. And I wanted to touch on this because this actually happened to me this past week. I consider myself a very busy person, as everyone's going to say, but I legitimately think I am. I work a full-time job. I have obligations with my friends. I'm working to become a spiritual life coach. So in my free time, I'm still putting the final touches on my program, and I'm coaching one of my friends who's also used to be a coworker of mine, and funny how the universe brought us together like that. So thankful for it. And I coach her with my program because it helps me to learn. And then I also have this podcast, and I've stated I am not the most tech savvy person, so I would be lying if it said it did not take me longer than it should to edit my videos. And on top of that, all of what I have going on, last week I actually had this exact moment that I just talked about how our intuition can come in the most inconveniencing times. To start off, we need a little bit of background, and I'm actually going to post the YouTube video about this whole realization that I had. I want to because I think it's important. I think this happens for so many people, and it's important we follow through. Last week, I'm watching a beautiful tarot reading from Shanetta on YouTube. She's amazing. She's been in the spiritual space for longer than I have. She's literally who one of the women who I feel like mentored me in this space and grounded me. I'm just so grateful for her to have been in this space, truly. So I was watching one of her timeless readings last week. It had been in my feed for 2 or 3 weeks. And when a reading is in my feed for a long time, that's just a sign for me that from spirit, there's something in there that they want me to see. I'm just going to watch it. And so I go through this whole reading. It was funny. It was kind of backwards in a way. I don't remember all of it, but I remember the reading I had watched, she had kind of explained all these feelings about something I was doing or was hesitant to do. And then at the end of the reading, she mentioned something, maybe it's something that you wanted to do that you just didn't act on. And I was like, oh my God. Literally, I had goosebumps in that moment. It was yoga. The year prior, I want to say in February or March of 2025, I felt a very intense pull to become a certified yoga instructor. Yoga was not foreign to me then. It's still not foreign to me. I'd taken a yoga class at that point and I knew I loved it. And the same thing applied back then. My body craved it. It was still helping me in my eating disorder healing. It was still helping me to connect with my body physically. Because even if you don't have an eating disorder, it is still something that can connect you to your physical body. And that is something I believe wholeheartedly, which is why I'm so passionate about it. And it's why I want to start teaching it, not just in classes, but I would love to bring it to my YMCA and do 1 or 2 classes a week just for the community. Because I think yoga is something that everyone should get the opportunity to do. And I ended up not pursuing my yoga instructing certificate last year because of a few reasons. Financial cost, it had nothing to do with time commitment, it was the financial cost. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my career yet. I was so focused. I was like, I want to start a business, but I'm actually going to do tarot reading. I'm not going to be doing anything besides tarot readings because that's a distraction to my time in my business. And because I saw such a big financial cost associated with it, I ended up not pursuing it. And at the time, I was really heartbroken and I was really disappointed because this was one of those things where, like, this happened when I was a teenager a lot. There were quite a few things I wanted to do as a teenager, but because it cost so much and there were financial obligations, I just could not do that as a teenager. And it broke my heart as a teenager. And it broke my heart when I was 22 last year and I wanted to pursue this. And I was like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And I dropped it. I continued to pursue my tarot reading business. I ended up not creating a large business out of it because it was meant for me at one point and it just wasn't meant for me then. And I accepted that because as much as my soul wanted to do it, I just don't think I wanted to do it as much as I had prior. Did I love tarot as much as I did years ago? Absolutely. Was the passion there? Absolutely. But did I want to launch a website doing tarot readings? No, I didn't. And that was just something I needed to be honest with myself about. I ended up moving on. Clearly, I want to do spiritual life coaching now, and I am so blessed to be here where I am. But I hadn't thought of yoga in months, and I see this tarot reading, and I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God. And I'm like, well, Shanetta also just said that my guides are like, come on, girl. You gotta listen to your intuition. We're telling you this. This is something you need to do. Last year, you were pulled to it for funsies. You loved it. Now this is something we think you should do. I was like, okay, I'm trusting you. I'm walking blindly. And it was something I actually covered with my business coach this week. We covered quite a few different things in our session this week. But that was one of the things that was brought up was my mistrust in my guides, as everyone's gonna have mistrust in their guides. Like, it's not always easy to believe in someone you can't see, that you really can't prove scientifically exists, but you just know exists. There are times where it's hard, and that's normal. So don't stress about it. But that was something that I thought about, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. So I was like, I'm gonna find a way to make it work because now there are financial obligations to it and there's time obligations to it. My time is stretched thin. Like, it's not as thin as other people's, but that doesn't mean it's not thin. Two things can be true at once. I actually have a podcast episode for everyone in the little community if you're looking for two things can be true at once. Put it up there. And let me tell you, real fucking inconvenient time to bring up the fact that I should be a yoga instructor. Do I still want to? Absolutely. What did I do last night? I signed up for Yoga Renew's 200 yoga teaching instructing course. So yeah, I really wanted to go to an in-person studio as well. But because of my time constraints, that's just not within the realm of possibility, unfortunately. And I would love it to be, but I work in the service industry and I don't get off weekends. In fact, weekends are like my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Weekends are my busy time. So moving forward with this, I just knew there were two choices I could make. I could once again not follow my intuition and not follow this call and push it away, which I've done before with my life, as we all have. Thankfully, I don't do that anymore. If I feel like it's a small and manageable thing that I can just be like, no, I don't want for one reason or another, not because of distrust, I will push it away. And if it's meant to be, it'll come back. And you know what teaching yoga has done? It's come right back into my life. And I adore that. It just honestly puts so much more faith into yoga. Like, I'm so excited. It's so easy to just say no to our intuition, but for me, yoga came back. And I feel like that's just evidence it's meant to be a part of my life in some way. If I were to push it away again, one that's going to, I believe, confuse my intuition. I really want you to think about that when you're in your car with your gut telling you, we need to go grab that inside and we need to bring it where we're going. Or when you're at school and you feel like you should underline something even though the teacher's already ahead and they didn't say it was a part of your curriculum, but your gut's telling you and it's kind of inconveniencing, like you gotta do it. And if I don't know, I'm not trying to compare yoga instructing to highlighting something in a textbook, but the same principle applies to the example. There's a reason that our intuition is pulling it, and I understand that it's inconveniencing. We're not exactly designed to trust what inconveniences us as human beings. From like a scientific perspective, I feel like I have a lot of hypothesis on, I don't know if that's the right word, but we're going to go with that, on why our gut is like this. And for me, it stems from maybe like the energy or a mindset shift or something that triggers our own intuition into doing it in a moment that is inconveniencing to us. Sometimes I do believe it's our guides. Other times it's just energy. I can't tell you this for sure. Those are just my thoughts. You know, our intuition, it might inconvenience us, but it's not setting out for us to fail, to do something awful. And just because it happens at a time or in an instance that's inconveniencing, awkward, not desirable, that doesn't make it less powerful. It just means you have emotions like a normal human being. And they're telling you, icky, gross. Push through the icky and gross feelings and listen to your gut. It's normal. It's going to happen in times when it's not exactly expected. And that is a part of the human experience. It just is. So you don't need to stress. You don't need to overthink your intuition in this moment as well. I know patience is hard. And I know that patience, it's really like a muscle. You don't just get it overnight. And if you want to learn patience, go into the food service industry. Or don't if you have very little patience. I promise that would be an awful time for you. Patience is something I absolutely believe you can learn. There's so many ways to learn patience, truly. I could do a whole episode on small things to large things to unexpected ways. We'll see. Instead of choosing to mistrust, grant yourself a little patience and follow through. Worst comes to worst, you may not need it. There are so many ways to be patient. When you're in your car, just do it. If you can spare the time, just do it. And I will say a life hack that definitely helps you to be prepared for your intuition. Just leave your house 15 minutes early to wherever you need to be. And if you're in Dallas, then you need to leave your house 25 minutes early between 7 and 9 a.m. and 3 and 5 p.m. You're welcome. There's your life hack if you're moving to Texas, and just in general if you live in Dallas. So that's what I have for you today. Patience is great. It'll help your intuition when it inconveniences you. It doesn't. It's just at an inconveniencing time. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on Spotify, go ahead and like the video, share it, comment, share it with your friends. Let's have a discussion in the comment section. I think that this community needs some little dialogue going in it. And I am so happy you're here, happy to welcome you. Share it with your friends, your family, your dog walker, your cousins, your aunts, your coworkers. You never know who needs to hear this. This would literally be perfect to send to that friend who last week said, I wanted to bring this thing, but it felt weird to, and I was leaving my house, so I didn't do it. I feel like we've all at least met someone who's done that, or we've been the person who's done that. So share it with someone. And if you're off social media, welcome. Hi, I'm the same way. This is why I'm not the most techie person ever. Share it through messages. I promise we are all on the journey of our intuition, and this is an aspect. So until next week, I'm so happy you're here. I'm excited to see you next week. And until then, bye.